Hello and welcome to the War Report. I am your host Cyrus, joined by a very special guest, and I think this is the perfect episode to have him on while Quan rests up and he'll come back next week. We got Jameel here. We got the big Meelz
Wow.
here.
How formal.
Just me and Meelz. Formal. We
Very
handle it very
formal. No one uses my real name on this network. That's very formal, but fair. You know what? My name is Jameel. It's nothing I got to hide.
that is the name that I sent emails to. How are you feeling? I feel like this is the first time we ever talked one-on-one about wrestling on like anything.
I'm feeling is very much so mixed feelings. Currently, not based on you, just kind of the situation of kind of everything that happened over the last couple hours. I know you're not on Twitter, which is a lot of the mystique, but we've been sharing in our Discord and on Twitter and stuff like that. Like one of our supporters, one of our friends, one of our just people, Black wrestling community, especially online community. Like at the end of the day, we all fight and we all have our opinions and stuff like that, but we still support each other. And man, a sane, oh my God. You know, I'm probably gonna talk more about him on the H show, but this is like the first opportunity that I kind of get to talk about him. But I just want to let him know, because based on kind of news, it was his family was looking for him. He was missing. It ended up his sister let us know online that he was in a car crash and he actually passed away, which is very, very rough. So I just want to say thank you. We got his name messed up so many times, but he took it in good sport. As someone who can also relate, listen, my name is Jameel. You have no idea how many times people call me Jamal. It is legitimately, there is no second A in it. There are actually two other E's in it. It's really very phonetic, my name.
It's very clear when you see it.
It's very clear, but still people Jamel, just ignore that second E or just the E's in general. But man, as saying, man, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you. You were loved. You were touched a lot of people. Everybody in the Clippers community, because he worked for the Clippers, is kind of like, mourning his thing and sharing photos and sharing experiences. And I wish I got to know you a little bit more. And it makes me now look back and want to know a lot of people a little bit more. It actually makes me very happy that we're doing this. Like you're saying, like this is our first time kind of one-on-one really doing anything together. And you don't have a lot of these moments a lot of the time. So I'll just say this. I'm grateful to be doing this with you. And thank you for inviting me on. And hopefully Quan is right back into action next week.
Thank you for having those kind words for him. Rest in peace, all the same. And it's very funny because you say that Quan, the same night Quan kind of like called out or made the call. We played video games together the same night, and he sounded great.
I mean, maybe he needs rest. Listen, we all need rest. Everyone, an annual day, a sick day. Listen, sometimes you're not sick, but you want to take the sick day because you just
you feel me? I'm tired.
Listen, I'm tired. I feel it. Listen, I respected Quan. I've done it multiple times on the A show with no shame. I've taken off for weeks, and you have filled in Cyrus and the visibilities on the A show. I have no shame in my game. When it's time to recharge, it's time to recharge, and that's all you got to say about it. There's nothing more to be said about that.
Yeah, so Quan will be back next week, and then hopefully we can have some more guests in the future. There's a lot of people that I would like to get into the show. But let's get into Indies Trenches, man. We have a couple news topics. Nothing really, I guess, big for AEW and NXT. Especially after just coming off Extreme Rules, I think this is just a real down period for news if it's not just contract talk or
Right.
somebody wants to release or some shit like that. But Kira Hogan is all elite. How do you feel about it?
You know, I'm not mad. I'm actually not mad at it because I think, she's, albeit how people may feel about her, I would assume Sasha Banks Hive. I don't know what the Sasha Banks Hive or no. What are they kind of known as? Like bank statements or like Sasha Banks Hive?
Whenever I see people talk
Barbs.
about them, I always see the crew, but with like a K. So
Oh yeah, the crew. There you go. Right.
they blood and
They
black.
hate her. They hate her. They hate her because Kira Hogan is like, yo, Sasha Banks is not nice, not nice at all. So they hate her.
Yeah, I believe she says Sasha Banks is one, not a nice person, and two, that she keeps stealing her swag.
And she hasn't. Listen, I'll give it to her. She has not let up. If she has a problem with you, she lets you know it because she had the same smoke for one Ember Moon as well. So, I'm happy. Again, this is a situation of let's see how this goes because all of these signings. I mean, to be honest, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Last like five signings have been black people. AEW is clearly they feel the heat of kind of what's going on, but it's not just about signing these people. It's also making sure that you put them in the right position.
Them.
Yeah, using them frequently on the show and putting them, not even just using them, but putting them in positions where we see them and people can also see them in spotlight positions.
My thing is that you didn't have to, you had enough niggas to use. What is signing more gonna do for us? I thought like, I never said that AEW didn't have any black people there or any people of color. It was just about who's getting used and who wasn't. And people said that, a lot of black people on the roster are not getting used. And then they just keep hiring more of them and then not using the ones that they signed.
Well, I mean, there was a recent, I guess we'll talk about it later in the show, but definitely another signing that was presented tonight as well. And it looks like they want to do something with him. This is all remains to be seen. I think they want to do something with him because he was featured on a highly publicized various television shows that air nationwide. So maybe that's the reason why they put a little bang in his book, if I can use that term. But yeah, I mean,
I just feel like that they're getting a lot of they're getting a lot of tools and then not just like outright not using them. And I think that's much worse than, not using them, like basically, because it's just like, okay, at this point, their names are just going to be on tweets and be like, but they have black people there. Like, that's all it's going to really be useful.
So here's what I want from Kira Hogan. Because she has worked in Impact and she's been there quite a while. I would love to see how AEW kind of develops her career and if that can actually happen, as opposed to taking a name from a company and pretty much just riding on that name. I would like to see them take her to the next level, put her in a gimmick, put her in or give her some sort of program or something along those lines. I want to see it develop to the next level. From where Sasha Banks started, where Sasha Banks, and I hate to use the Sasha Banks comparison, but they're just incredibly similar. But from where she was then to where she is now, world of change. I would like to see that for Kira Hogan. I would like to see her career develop into something a little bit better. That's what I would like to see. So remains to be seen. I don't know. AEW doesn't really develop guys in real time.
She'll probably get like an insane month push, and then Tony Khan's gonna be like, "All right, on to the next." So we'll see what happens, man. Full Gear will be on November 13th in Minnesota. I don't know if I want to go to the show that's going to happen in Miami.
Ooh.
I am very conflicted
Are you thinking of going to Minnesota?
No, not Minnesota. Absolutely not. No, I want to go to the one. I want to go into the one in Miami. I just wanted to
Okay.
talk about like live shows since they're gonna have
Okay.
a show here.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and
I
like it
think
should be on the way.
I think this full gear. I mean, full gear in Minnesota. Shout to Minnesota. I mean, I don't. It's not necessarily like a wrestling town, but there's a lot of people there. I guess
Mhm.
from what I've known, from the people that I know from Minnesota, which is Jamal and Johnny Barnes.
Okay, yeah.
There is a there is a massive mall, and that is it. And the Timberwolves. You know,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe Anthony Edwards does a stint in AEW. I could see it. The
Oh
man is good at
Lord.
everything. He's
I don't
good
know
at
if
everything.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that. But
Well, listen, Timberwolves ain't got
um
nothing else to do. Their season has been sucking for a long ass time. So
yeah. And I'm sure like Minnesota, where is Minnesota? Like North Midwest? Is it Midwest?
it's like Midwest, Northwestern
Okay.
kind of.
I couldn't point it
It's
out
by
on the
it's by the
map.
lakes. Do you know where the Finger Lakes are?
Yes,
You know where the
yes,
Finger
yes,
Lakes
yes.
are? Oh, okay,
Uh
it's right around there.
okay.
That
That
jurisdiction of the United States.
that seems to be AEW's jam for the most part, just being in those areas, and then Miami
Sure, yeah.
for occasionally. I think just the James L. Knight Center is just like, damn, Hamilton's no more Hamilton performances, bro. We need something to pay the bills,
I,
bro.
I low key just hearing you say that. I low key want to get a map of the United States with no names on it and see how many states you
Oh,
could pick out and where they.
of middle school, no, third grade geography, bro. We're
It'd
not
just be
doing
like,
that.
all right, light them up, light them up. Let's see how we can get.
Fucking
So
doing
yeah,
terrible. But yeah, that should be cool. I'm looking forward to Full Gear. I wonder what's going to be on the card, and then let's see what happens. It seems like we're just going to get a lot of like weird stuff on television till then. Like it's going to be like, well, just a month now, so it's going to be like a 2 month wait.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
Well, a
I
month and some
mean,
change.
month and some change. That's a lot of CM Punk on commentary. That's a lot.
Oh man, CM Punk on commentary. All right.
He might be the ring announcer one week. He might be bell ringer another week. He might
This
be
shit is
concession stand.
so crazy, bro. Keep him off commentary, man. But just to get through the in the trenches, Brian
Mm-hmm.
Cage had some comments about Tony Khan and basically saying that yes, you may like you some people have creative control, but it just seems like you could pitch and encourage ideas, and the final say is what Tony Khan says. Now, does that not sound familiar, Mills?
I mean, that seemingly is how WWE works. To be honest with you, I
I was told AEW office different.
I was told if I was told there was a Slack where it all goes down. That's where multiple ideas are switched around, and then it's like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. It's weird who has creative. If you were able to negotiate creative control, by all means, good for you. Like, good for
Yeah,
you. I'm
and
I'm looking at Andrade. Good for you.
I don't think he really got it, but what is it? He also mentioned that like even the EVPs don't have the creative control like they used to anymore. Tony
Mm.
Khan kind of like took the reins on everything, and everything has to basically go through him. Does that not sound familiar?
I mean, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
um,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, and the reason why that probably happened. There's a massive conflict of interest between who's the EVP and who gets a lot of time on the show. That
oh,
I could imagine,
absolutely.
and this is me just speculating. This is not me knowing anything. This is not me saying anything. But I would speculate that, wow, are they actually showing? Wait, they're showing more stuff from the show between Roads to the Top. Like I was like, why is Sammy Guevara holding the TNT title on Roads to the Top? But no, this is actual live programming.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Sorry, but I would imagine that people who may have a vested interest in wanting to be on the show, wanting to have opportunities, or possibly promise opportunities, um, would have an issue with maybe people who are the EVPs, maybe people who have creative control, having a lot of opportunities and time frequently on a show. So I could see it. I could see if there's anybody kind of why it would now come down to Tony Khan. But I'm sure they're gonna tell us now that it was always Tony Khan. Oh, this is just Tony Khan. Oh, it was always Tony Khan.
They're gonna just so there's no like drama. And then also Brian Cage in his comments said that Cody is one of the few EVPs that actually like attend office meetings, and I thought that was very funny. He kind of listed everybody's role in AEW, just being like Kenny like deals with the video game stuff. One of the Bucks handles merch, and the other Bucks handle the little YouTube show that they do. So I think there's a huge gap in responsibility here. All this one guy does is like edit a video on YouTube weekly.
They're running it like it's a mom and pop shop, which I'm like, I mean, maybe they don't have enough of funds to hire the people who are like, experienced at these type of things. Like for instance, like Kenny Omega working on video games. It's like maybe leave that up to the companies to work on video games. Yeah. I'm sure you want to have a lot of creative input in it, but like I think everyone's time could be best spent doing other things, even the merch and stuff like that. So, but maybe, I mean, this is what they all sign on for. This is what they're all put in for. So maybe they want to do it, but I'm almost sure we're going to get to a point as this company continues to grow, if it continues to grow and if it continues to expand to be more than just a wrestling company, those roles will change.
Yeah, I think significantly. And then just to cap this off, Brian Cage kind of clarified his comments here because Dave Meltzer reported it and people thought he was saying this as a negative. Brian Cage basically just said like, yes, Tony Khan does, everything. He does. He has all this stuff on his plate, and maybe he should like take a little less off his plate and give people creative control so he can breathe. More of a like, relax, brother. I got this. Instead of a tyrant Tony Khan.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's why Vince has a team, right? That's why Vince. To be honest with you, Tony Khan should be responding. Tony Khan shouldn't be someone who has to deal with kind of every person on the roster who has some sort of creative control or EVP. He should really have to be talking to one person, and he should hire another person to talk to everybody else for him, which is what usually head of talent relations, head of creative direction, executive directors, things like that. But I'm not going to tell him how to operate his own.
Yeah. Like you said, it's very mom and pop, it's very face to face, very intimate.
Hit my line.
Yeah, you feel me? They could just always walk to his office and he's so understanding, very guiding counselor. And then just to end off in the trenches, NXT stars will be in the draft. Now, I don't want to really predict who is going to go up, but I want to guess how many are going to go. I need 6 call-ups minimum.
All right. And you say you don't want to guess.
I don't want to guess individuals, but I want to guess the number.
We need more than 6. I'm just gonna let you know. There's a lot of people.
6 is minimum.
Yeah, minimum. There is a lot of people missing from the show. Clearly, NXT 2.0 has taken the priority over anybody who was, I guess, featured in 1.0, because they taken L's. The Kyle O'Reillys of the world are being, shifted out for the Von Wagners of the world.
We're gonna talk about that.
So I'm expecting quite a bit. I would imagine a lot of them are going to Monday Night Raw. That's what I would imagine.
I would honestly, I don't care where they go. I need them to go.
Absolutely.
At this point, I'm looking at NXT right now, and it kind of every mentor got their mentee. If you ain't got a mentee, you go up. And and
Right.
I just feel like they don't really need a lot of people right, or a lot of the old folk, the old NXT people. So
No, I can't see it. I
just
can't see it.
go straight on up, please, God, please
Wow.
take some men
Wow.
too.
This Road to the Top show looks very uninteresting. I'm
My
watching it on mute.
okay. So what's crazy about the roast to the top thing, which I said in our Discord, is just like, okay, in every promotion for the thing, it's always like Cody and Brandy are like kind of arguing or like kind of subbing each other, or being passive aggressive towards each other. And then there'll be like stuff that's actually happening behind the scenes at AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Total Divas wasn't really like that.
No. The
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the charm of Total Divas was it was like very much so the drama, the storylines, everything was kind of very not really a lot of it dealt with wrestling, of course, the wrestling world, but it was not really wrestling related. It was kind of, but not really. It was more so like it's not like I can't believe I'm getting this opportunity at the women's championship, and it was more like I can't believe I got really promoted at my job. So people like surface level women, people who are watching can be like, I relate to that. This show,
well, I would say for Total Divas case is that like it would be like this is what I would like what was going on in my life while I was getting this wrestling opportunity. And that's
right.
how like the wrestling vaguely or barely gets involved.
Right.
Here you have like stuff with the baby, stuff with the family, and then you have a doctor diagnosing Ricky Starks on his neck, his fractured neck, and I'm just like, where do you fit into the Rhodes family?
He's part of the cast. It's about to be Total Rhodes real soon, and it's about to feature Ricky, Bobby, Miro.
I'm saying, and then Moxley is there a lot because like whatever, you possibly saw him on Total Divas at some point, and then you see a lot of Jade Cargill and Brandy, and it's just like, okay, that makes sense because they did the Shakaroni match.
Mm-hmm.
But what the fuck, Ricky Starks got to do in anything? I thought that was the weirdest like promotion for it because I was just like, oh, are we really about to get like just like raw AEW stuff that doesn't revolve around the roads? Because if that's the case, I don't want to see these C-list niggas. I want to see what's going on with the elite for real.
I feel like it'll be related towards them, but I'm not sure. Thus far, from what I've been looking at, the show has been all of them thus far.
Okay.
So
I want to see like a Bad Girls Club moment between like Cody and Kenny, or like Kenny like pushes them, and then it does like the negative, like the shock, just done, and then they go to commercial break or some shit. That's what I want to see from the show.
I would love that. I would fucking love that. But yeah,
I think it'd be fantastic. But all right, let's actually get into AEW.
No, Max, I'm not gonna hit you because you will not break me mentally. So if you got anything else to add, now's the time. Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep talking!
I'm not gonna break you mentally. I'm not gonna break you mentally. Okay. We're done. We're done here.
Oh, didn't expect that to happen. What do you make of that, Mr. Funk?
I think when bullies are stood up to, bullies retreat.
All right, so we start the show. We got CM Punk on commentary. Woo!
They could have done this before the camera started rolling.
Nope, you gotta hear it on your TV so you can rush towards your TV.
I can't believe he's gonna join us on commentary the entire night. It's like, well, why the fuck you bring him out?
Yeah,
just announce him on commentary.
It's so ridiculous. So to start the show, we got CM Punk and Jungle Boy in a match that I thought was
Oh no,
okay.
Adam Cole and Jungle Boy.
Oh,
Adam
I'm so
Cole.
sorry. Who did I say?
You said CM Punk and Jungle
Oh, I am
Boy.
so sorry. Adam Cole and Jungle Boy. I'm getting all the white men confused. Um, how'd you feel about the match? Because I really just thought the match was like okay.
It was very, you know what? I guess for it to start the show, it was cool, but not really like probably the most like wow, bang, everything kind of going on. Maybe I'm conditioned from WWE.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm conditioned.
I didn't think this match was that important, and that's what like.
No, it really wasn't. But we see Jungle Boy different than a lot of AEW people see Jungle Boy.
Mhm.
We see Jungle Boy. I personally see Jungle Boy. I'll speak for me from Jungle Boy. I don't see him as a major player because he kind of looks like a novelty act. That's just kind of the look that I get from him.
Mhm.
He kind of looks like a dude with hair and sideburns that wrestles. He's like a caveman that kind of wrestles. But
Mhm.
So I don't really get that from him. But I do think that Adam Cole, he's getting time. He's getting time with a lot of his matches. He's getting time to get his shit off. And I think that's really kind of what he wanted to do. I mean, he was doing it in NXT, so I have no idea why he didn't want to just do it here, but you know, here or there. But you know, it was a solid match. I'll say that. And I like the finish because
Mhm.
people love Adam Cole. So you need kind of reasons for them to hate Adam Cole. And kicking Jungle Boy in the nuts is really good heel shit. I'll give him that.
My thing is that yes, you say that, but they cheered for Adam Cole when he came out, and they cheered for Jungle Boy when he came out, and then you know, normally what would be Cole building up heat, you know, to get booed or like set something up to, you know, dissuade the crowd in any sense, he's getting cheered. I
love Adam Cole.
Yeah, my thing is that like Adam Cole doesn't have to work hard to get cheered. He has to work really hard to get booed. So I guess like, you know, him doing heel things, it doesn't really matter because they're gonna love it anyway.
Right.
That's kind of my thing with AEW is just like, why do you do things so it could work in your favor? It always works in your favor. Just do whatever the fuck you want. So I think the new kick it is.
I don't know. I think they're still trying to establish Cole within this group, but if it were up to me, I'm assuming that he's going to be cut loose. I think if this were, I can't speak for AEW booking, but I think if this was definitely AEW booking, him being cheered and being in a heel group would end up becoming a massive problem. Is what I'll say.
Yeah, but it just never seems to really be like I don't think the only heel group to really get, you know, booed would be the Pinnacle MJF's faction. And like maybe the Inner Circle when like they were feuding with like Moxley and stuff. But I do think it's really hard to get booed in AEW. I guess like the people really have to dislike you if they're like genuinely booing you, because if they don't like you, they just won't react. Right. And I think that's also kind of worse. But I mean, this match is good and it ends. Adam Cole gets the win with the Panama Sunrise. Once again, I don't know what they're trying to do with Jungle Boy. I don't know if they're really trying to build him up because he always loses.
There's not. I don't think there's a long future in Jungle Boy, to be honest with you. There's not and you would have to actually demoralize him a lot to build up that natural kind of support for him to be pushing in a real kind of direction. They seem to be like here, there, like we're gonna give him a couple wins because the people love him. But it does really. There's too much. There's like negatives and positives, and everything cancels it out. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really move in really any direction because he can lose 3 times, but he'll also win like 5 times and he'll still be cheered and be paired with, you know, random people. So, it is what it is. Yeah, with Jungle Boy. I don't know. I can't explain.
Yeah, it is what it is. And then the Elite comes out. Adam Cole does it all by himself to show that he's a big boy. And then the Elite comes out. And they cut their promo. I think the promo is nothing to really write home about. Once again, it's an elite promo, just stroking their own egos until somebody interrupts them. And Daniel Bryan comes back out and he's just like, man, fuck it, I want to do it again. Yeah, and then Kenny's just like doing the thing once again. He's just like, man, go rise up the leaderboards, man. I'm not playing these games no more. And I really do like Brian just being like, yo, fuck this AEW way of climbing up the ladder, bro. You people want to see it, bro. Throw hands with me. And then that just be it.
Oh my God. I mean, I liked it because it really brought in some sense of like direction and kind of like stability to a segment that easily could have been another one of these like elite. Everyone talks about, everyone does ridiculous things. It just, Daniel Bryan kind of came in and is like, let me ground this. Let me return it back to what we're trying to do here. Because there's a point where he cuts Kenny off during the promo, because I think, and I don't know if he did it intentionally, but it was a sense of essentially like taking the reins of it. It's like, before this goes off control again and people start talking about their shoes or making, you know, inside jokes or something along those lines, let me just say that I want a rematch, and I also got these people behind me. And then, you know, big old schmaz as in every AEW segment.
Yeah. And at this point in time, I think Brian Danielson, my fault, is just like, you know what? Fine, I'll play that way. I lost. Now I'll just go up the ladder, and he's gonna go about it by just beating up everybody in the elite. And then on Friday, he's gonna be challenging, I think, Matt Jackson in a singles match. So I think he's just gonna slowly just, you know, just beat the shit out of the elite until Kenny. So that's a good way to fill out these weeks.
Absolutely. Can I give you a Roads to the Top update while we're in the middle of this? So Cody and Brandy are now discussing, because they have to talk to Jade Cargill, because she slapped Red Velvet really, really hard in their backstage encounter. So they got to talk. Yeah, she apparently slapped her too hard, and now they got to go like settle things down. And now currently they're talking about Ricky Starks, and they're breaking the news to him that, like, you know, you're essentially, I guess he's injured and he's gonna be like, you know,
okay, that's so
put on the back of it. Go ahead.
Because Ricky Starks get his neck like fractured like 2 months ago, and the Jade Cargill thing where she slaps Red Velvet was probably like 4 months ago. So what is this timeline? This
is reality show magic. This is reality show magic. Okay, I don't expect they do this shit all the time, but there's a lot of shows.
If you're telling me that Ricky Starks' neck was fractured 4 months ago while the Shaq-a-Roni match was about to happen, and you were still letting this motherfucker wrestle, this is ridiculous. Where's the doctor, man? Who's clearing these
people? My God. So Brandy now is having this conversation. I'm going to put the audio up a little bit.
I want the women's division to succeed.
Okay, I'm taking it back now. She's lying. But but the thing is but that was just a great point that I picked out from this. No, she's talking to Jade about slapping too hard, and Jade's like, I'm a big girl, I'm gonna end up slapping hard.
I'm saying, so tell Red Velvet to suck it up. Lame ass nigga.
She's gonna have to grow up. She's gonna have to grow up and realize that she's gonna have a lot bigger problems than me accidentally slapping her hard.
Yeah, Jade making a great point. But next match, we got Cody Lee Johnson versus Matt Sydal and Dante Martin, which I thought was an okay match. I don't really think this match needed to happen, but Lee Johnson gets the win for his team.
This match was used for two things. So it was used to continue to highlight the talent, so CM Punk could continue to get his heart on over Dante Martin. He loves that kid.
Trying so hard to get him over.
He loves him so much. He's like, I just want to wrestle him. It's like art, bro. And I'm
martial art.
I'm like, he's 20 years old. You don't have to impress him that hard. You're CM Punk. He's 20 years old. Like, Bring it
Bring it
down
home.
a notch.
Yeah, please. This is
Um,
terrible on commentary.
but overall, I guess this match was kind of used as a vehicle for Cody because he was booed last week. He also lost last week, so double whammy. What's my name?
Arn Anderson?
Lee Johnson.
Oh
No.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He pulls him, thing comes in the ring, takes a win, and then we get the post-match segment afterward that was like, wow, okay.
Arn Anderson basically just saying, hey man, Malachi Black won, bro. He won fair and square. You're a loser, Cody. And then, just said, something about getting his car jacked. And he said he just gonna pull the Glock out and shoot a motherfucker.
He essentially calling Cody pussy. He was like,
yeah,
you're the type of person who someone comes to your car and tells you get out, and you're like, don't hurt me. But I'm the type of guy that show up and I put my 9mm in his face and I'm ready to blow his fucking brains out. And I was like, whoa, this escalated quickly. I didn't even think that analogy was needed to that such an extreme. It could have just.
It really did not. And I think it is so funny because it came so out of left field. But yes, more or less, Arn Anderson is just saying, Cody, you soft brain. Plus, you don't listen. I'm gonna rock with Lee Johnson. He listen.
Come here, boy.
Yeah. And then the segment just ends there. So I don't know what really is gonna happen to Cody.
Cody's the protagonist in his own arc, and this is his this is his development story. This is his comeback.
This is the rival story. I couldn't get him the first time, so let's write it up for an arc, and then we'll come back on the next one.
You might need a training arc, something like that. We might get one of those. Might be a tournament arc, something.
Oh Lord! Oh, if Cody runs roughshod on that Owen Hart tournament, I'm gonna throw up.
It might be. This is Cody's world. We're living in it. Roads to the top, baby.
The Cody verse is going crazy, and then now our main event.
Out of all the times you called me here, Miro, you called me here,
our TNT champion versus Sammy Guevara, who is fighting for his friend Fuego del Sol and his car, and him just going, nigga, I didn't say put your car on the line. I just said challenge him again. Okay. How'd you feel about this match, man?
Because you invited me, so we had this agreement about I would come back on the show when Miro does something interesting. That was the agreement one day. So this was a big one day. Miro's been, to be honest with you, Miro's been, if he was a part-time scheduled wrestler, you could have fooled me, because that my man lives in promo land for 3 weeks and then has a match the 4th week, and then they start over again every month. He has essentially 1 match per month, maybe 2. I did not expect the result of this match. I didn't see it coming at all. It just, even to the point where I could have done without Sammy Guevara also picking up Miro, dumping him, and then putting him out of his misery. I could have done without that. I was like, wow, okay. You did that.
Sammy Guevara shitted on him, bro?
A little bit. Like,
okay.
You're not supposed to be, you're not like, you a small guy. You're not really supposed to be like
picking me up like that.
You're like dumping them crazy like that. And he took the 6th, whatever his finishing move is, and took that out. I was like, damn, that was low-key a decisive finish for someone who has been undefeated.
That it don't get any cleaner than that. Miro, I don't even think Miro tried to cheat.
No. And he should have.
That match was clean cut. Okay.
Listen. God's got a new favorite, and it's Roman Reigns after Extreme Rules. God is a Roman Reigns mark.
Oh my Lord. I did not expect the results of this match either. I didn't think that this feud really had anything to it. To even call it a feud is a joke in itself. I don't even know where Miro goes from here.
It's weird because the trajectory, listen, they could have maybe done another match out of this, but the trajectory of it didn't say title change immediately. Like even to Sammy Guevara's kind of run, because he's been very like stop start. Where is he going? What is he doing over the last number of months? But there's no way in my mind that I expected him to defeat the undefeated Miro on an episode of Dynamite for the TNT Championship.
Yeah, because Sammy Guevara seriously had zero momentum going into this. And Miro had all the momentum going into this.
all of it. I don't know. But this is maybe we'll see this on Roast to the Top in the future. Maybe they'll explain.
Fuck off, man. See, season 2, I got to figure out what came into the decision here.
Miro's having a baby. He needed to be off television for a couple months.
And then, I wonder if Sammy Guevara comments on Sasha Banks is going to be an episode of Rose to the Top, and we see him in sensitivity classes. See what he was doing in there.
Doubt it. Oh, look at that. We get some of Brandy's family. Look at that.
Oh God, they raised a great one. Quick hits. We got MJF and Darby Allin in a segment, which all I have to say is, what?
MJF is really... So here's my kind of opinion on MJF. It's a lot of talk, but not enough in the ring kind of backs up this thing. He would be so much... I guess he's going to be known as the kind of the talker and kind of saying everything, but I think overall his credibility in the ring for me is like, I don't know. Like, that's just my opinion on MJF. Like, it doesn't, both sides, clearly the sliders are up on charisma and like down on other parts.
and nothing else. Yeah. I think I always been vocal with that same critique as well. Is just like, you don't really wrestle enough for me to really form an opinion, but you talk a lot.
He talks a ton, and now he's getting in this feud with Darby, which why? I don't know.
But I guess because he talked kind of slick about Darby Allin saying the 4 pillars of AEW, where he was just like, I beat Sammy Guevara, I beat Jungle Boy, Darby Allin never beat him, and then me. And then Darby Allin was just like, nigga, you never beat me. Ooh, I'm about to come out there and show you. Like, what?
Darby Allin low-key barred him up. He was like, yo, you haven't even won a damn... Oh, Chelsea Green is in the show. Oh my God. Turn this off.
Get the money. I don't know a bigger hustler than Chelsea Green, bro.
She was not fired when this happened. I'm almost sure she was not let go when this happened. Or maybe she was. Who knows? No. But I think Darby low-key barred him up. He was like, yo, listen, you haven't even won a championship since you've been here. You've been doing a lot of talking, but where's the results, my friend? Like, where?
No results.
I wonder that as well. And then because he felt slighted, MJF had to use all his Xbox vernacular, school shooter, which I thought was very cringe. That comment was kind of cringe. Talking about his uncle passing away. I thought
that dog, when he said, you want to know why he's straight edge? Because you and your uncle, and I said, hey, this could go to 2 places and neither of them are good.
I don't think it was, so with my history with a lot of WWE stuff, anytime they've crossed the line to that extent, there's always been a lot of pushback and a lot of like, why did they say that? For instance, there was this one time Randy Orton did a promo with Rey Mysterio, 2005. No, it's actually 2006, where he was like, and you're going to be just like Eddie somewhere in hell. And I remember specifically a lot of people on the internet were very, very mad about this. And I just hope, to bring in those kind of real situations and stuff like that, like the payoff better be there. You're going to have one hell of a payoff. I don't think they should do it, but you're going to have to have one hell of a payoff to be able to pull that off.
And what's crazy is that, like, you say that it has to be one like hell of a payoff, but like the crowd really didn't like react to that at all.
No,
And then it kind
Rochester
of
don't
just
bang
like,
with them like that.
yeah, and then MJF just walks away to like no crowd reaction, nothing. So it's just like I think the crowd is just gonna forget that was even said.
So I text with Carlos during these shows because Carlo watches live as well.
Oh, what a
And
monster.
so Carlos is like, so he's not gonna like punch him or something. Like she's not gonna
I'm
like
saying,
physically.
dog, he said, oh, Darby was just like, you're not gonna break me mentally. And then MJ was just like, oh, I'm not? All right, man. All right. Bye.
There's no being the bigger man in this situation. I would have beat him up. Or as Arn
Yeah,
Anderson says, put a Glock in his
he didn't
face
even
and
have
blow his
like
head off.
Wardlow do like some slick shit. They really just walked away.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I don't know.
ridiculous. All right. That was supposed to be a quick hit, but I think we went a little too long. But
Okay, these ones can be quick. These ones can be quick.
Yeah. We got the three kings, Moxley, Kingston, and Darby Allin with Sting to defeat Bear Country. And I don't know who the other guy was, but he was in a that was August Gray, I believe. That was his name. He's an evolved dude. And him and Darby Allin definitely showed that they had a match history together. But it's the three kings versus like jobbers. So how do you think this match ends? And then after like Sting, like even Styles on him even more for some reason.
I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't either. I knew what it was when they came on my screen, man. We got the Brody Lee tribute match, which is all of the Dark Order.
16-man tag.
A 16-man tag with the Hardy front office. And it is so if I knew that they were gonna do a tribute match, it would make a lot of sense of why the Dark Order was like kind of like doing this kind of like breakup angle so they could all just come together at the end.
Mm-hmm. They needed to be reminded like we're in Rochester. There are things that are bigger than this. There are things that are bigger than this. Maybe they needed that, but
also Orange Cassidy was there because him and Matt Hardy are gonna have a hair match.
Matt Hardy in a hair match? All right. Well,
I said it last week. Quan was just like, maybe Orange Cassidy really is connected to his hair, and I was just like, but he young, he gonna grow back.
Yeah, I mean Matt Hardy, you cut that off. Not all of it's gonna grow back. Not all.
But like his hair was like never really part of like his look.
Yeah,
it was always how he dressed.
Yeah.
So I always thought this was like so weird, but they're gonna be doing that. Obviously Dark Order wins. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, -1 comes back. They do the thing, do the schmaz. Everyone is happy. Shout out to they're doing the was it I forgot what it's called, John Huber Foundation or something along those lines. That AEW is doing. So more power to them for continuing to prop up the legacy of Brody Lee and things like that. So yeah.
I'm not gonna be too harsh on the match. Leo Rush is also all elite. It wasn't in our trenches, but he had a video package, so I wanted to talk about it. What was the business tactic that he said? It was like buy you.
He has said something. I'm sure it was legitimate, but I wasn't
Hammer talk.
I'm sure it was legitimate, but you know what? I think Leo Rush has a great opportunity here because he's a former WWE superstar. He's talked in front of and champion, talked in front of a lot of crowds. He's someone who was in demand from Tony Khan to be on the show. So he's going to be featured on the show. Now, I think Leo Rush is incredibly talented in the ring. I think he's talented in the ring. I think he's talented on the mic. But I want to see how this goes. This is we're playing up a big character for Lio Rush. Will they give him the time that he deserves? Which is, I guess, all that we're expecting from now. Like, diversity. It's just like a smidgen of diversity, my nigga. Like, it's not even a lot. Like just give him equal time. Come on.
My thing is just like, okay, Lio Rush is here, but is Tony Khan going to use him? And that's the questions we have to ask ourselves.
Let's see if next week there's another promo, or at least he shows up or something. If we go out and it's on Rampage next Friday.
If he comes on, all right, if he comes on Rampage and says, I'm gonna have a match on Dynamite, then I'm cool. But if he's gonna be there next Dynamite and say, I'm gonna have a match on a Rampage, I got a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's feeling very rampagey. Like, it's like we got to take these programs and you're like, are we thinking Dynamite or is this going to be settled on Rampage? Like that's the new like barometer now that we have to kind of figure this thing out. So it's still feeling very rampagey, but it could easily upgrade to a Dynamite in a couple of weeks if they put in the amount of time.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully AEW does right by them, right by him and us. But what doesn't sit right with me at all is this match that we're going to talk about. Once again, we get Tay Conti, Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford and Allie. Again,
they got ties. I think everyone in this match has ties, I guess, to an extent, because they are featured heavily on this weekly television show in various forms. Whether it be one week it could be a Rampage, but it could also be a Dynamite. So
they're running this like Riot Squad versus Sasha Bailey and Natalya, bro. I need them to fucking stop.
Got more.
This match hasn't improved in any iteration.
They've gotten a lot more coming. But listen, we got a promo last week. Sheeta, she's been
absent.
She was banished from the Dynamite realm, and now she's going to re-enter for her 50th win. She's seeking her 50th win, as if that there's no benefit to a 50th win in AEW.
Yeah, exactly. As like Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky have already they have 100 matches. Jungle Boy has had 100 matches already. He got a little trophy and shit already for being the first one to do it.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're gonna get that, like a little YouTube plaque or something for 50 matches
probably
on AEW Dark. They give you like this YouTube plaque. It was like, you killed it.
Yeah, so we'll see who she wrestles. Like, I don't think this shit not a big deal to me. Is there anything else on AEW Meelz? Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, and Jade Cargill are going to have a match. No rules, no disqualification. I'm not sure if it's a street fight or not, but yikesy. Hope nobody gets hurt.
Dynamite or Rampage?
I don't remember. It was a very quick video package.
Feeling a little rampagey.
Feeling main event rampagey.
A little bit. Oh, they're having a little, I don't know if this is a baby shower or a dinner or something along those lines. Yo, shout out to Sandra, who was the seamstress on Total Divas, because she is now featured on this show. So she's clearly the only she's clearly the only act on this show that's been featured on Total Divas and an AEW reality show. So you know what?
Grand Slam wrestling show champion, bro.
Grand Slam, Sandra, the seamstress.
But yeah, let's get into NXT 2.0.
Damn it, NXT 2.0 just became the A show.
All right, so NXT 2.0. The opening segment, I wrote down, everybody wants to fight, and I actually forgot what the opening segment was. Okay, I don't remember the start of the show.
The start of the show was, I believe it was Hit Row.
Yes, it was Hit Row, B-Fab versus Electra Lopez. I had it as a quick
Hit Row doing it. Nice pun on. Nice play on words there. No. But you know what? Fine. Let's talk about it on quick hits because it's not really, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
not
So
really,
my fault,
not really worth the
everybody.
long talk. It's all good. Shout out to Hit Row, but not really worth the long talk of this episode.
We have Roger Strong versus what is it? Grayson Waller. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Well, good match. I mean, solid little Roderick Strong encounter. Grayson Waller. He showed up in the boxing outfit. I was like, "Are you a boxer? Are we?"
Yeah, I don't know what's going on now.
Do you box? Are we scrapping?
It was like very indie to me to come out in like them shorts. Like,
yeah, it was very weird, but nonetheless, Diamond Mine is on a roll. Diamond Mine, I like them, but I feel like they need another real player. Like they need
like another big act or another person to like have a belt.
Another person to like have a belt. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Like kind of like you're not Roddy, clearly, but you're also could be in line for a championship match as well. Maybe North American, or maybe you're cruiserweight, something along those lines. I feel like they need another guy.
My thing is that like if one of them gets the North American championship, you bigger than Roddy. Who is like the most experienced wrestler on there. But nah, I definitely think that you're right. But Roger Strong being champion does kind of like add some validity to this group. And I think they're off to a good start with Roddy finally getting that belt. So, when the woman in their I forgot what her name is like Nia.
I don't know her name either. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of there's a lot of new people come. It's like going to work on your first day and your boss introduces you to everyone and he's like, I will never remember your name unless I need you.
We have to have like 2 more conversations before this commits to memory.
Absolutely. You have to suplex maybe a couple, like 3 other people before this conversation.
Yeah. So whenever she gets her debut, that should be cool for the most part. What else we got here? Io Shirai is Zoe Stark versus Toxic Attraction. How'd you feel about this match? I thought this match was just like maybe it was too early.
You know what? I liked it because one, it was Zoe Stark in the element that maybe she is cast to be in, which is competitor in the ring and non-entertainer outside. Like, please keep her in the ring and nowhere else. It was definitely too early, but at this point, I think with NXT 2.0, they've really banished the other tag teams on this show. So you kind of have to start over. So Io Shirai and Zoe Stark are going to have to be wrestling a lot of people who aren't really in that role as of yet, but they still have to have these tag team championship matches because NXT is all about like these. They build it as ladies' night this week. I liked all of the effort that all the 4 ladies put into this match, and Io Shirai doesn't miss. I'll say that. Now I wanted her to lose because obviously I don't want her on
NXT. Please get her out of there.
Yeah. I wanted her to lose, but she won. So you know what? Fair enough.
But yeah, I would agree there. I definitely think that Zoe Stark looked good here. When I know this sounds fucked up, not talking, and just kind of showing us what she's
true.
Yeah, kind of really just showing us what she's like truly about, not trying to really get a character going on. But Toxic Attraction loses, which is like it kind of just makes up for it. For our next topic, Frankie Monet versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship.
Didn't get a lot of time.
When Raquel was walking to the ring, it was 10:55. I said, okay.
I was like, y'all ladies, this is what we doing to the ladies? This on ladies' night?
Hey.
Did we really need the Kyle O'Reilly Ridge Holland match?
Boy, did we not?
Because that shit came on like 9:43, and I was like, we really need this match? Like, we
that
really
shit was not needed, brother. But
no. I mean, neither. I would say in this match, neither woman looked any more spectacular than the other. It was kind of like a match.
Like if it was just like if I like a plus or like negative, it was just like these ladies are the same. Like I like them how they came in, and I like them the same day as they got out.
Yeah, I think in terms of this feud, I mean, we're supposed to have the women's championship match 2 weeks ago. It didn't happen. I think not a lot has been really put into this feud in terms of like a personal or a stakes factor. It was kind of like, I got you this match. Aren't you happy? Oh, we're gonna have this match now. Like that's what it seemed like.
Freddie Monet didn't really seem to like, because she didn't even
they didn't beat her up or anything.
Yeah, they didn't beat her up. She didn't like have a match prior to have like some momentum going into it. Neither did Raquel. Neither of them got a mentee for this new 2.0. So yeah, this just feels like something an old remnant of old NXT just getting wrapped up. Same for Rich Holland.
This entire show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what this entire show felt like for me, to be honest with you. Like this felt like really old NXT. And at some points, not in the good way, because it's still very, very new. It's still very, very fresh. A lot of these people still are very, very green. But I think I think in this situation, if we're going to continue doing this, I would rather it be back on Peacock and or the network. And that's my hot take, because I feel like we're doing this developmental thing, and yeah, it's kind of a show, but I don't think this show is unless because unless we start having big names or like featuring kind of like names on the show, this is very much so a developmental show and filled with developmental stars. And it showed because they crammed a lot of people onto the show, like a ton of people, Andrew Chase and the Diamond Mine, Hit Row, everybody is kind of crammed into the show. But it doesn't seem to be leading anywhere. So part of me is like, I would rather watch this in, like, I like all the characters on the show, but I think I would like to watch this baby on an on-demand format. But then I think we also wouldn't fall in love with a lot of these people if we had to watch this in our spare time, because we probably wouldn't watch it, to be honest with you.
I probably would like have like less less desire to, honestly, or like watching it on time, or like I do agree. I was talking to Justin earlier when we were recording Spot College. We also talked a bit about NXT, and I said on there that NXT not building towards a takeover or like a special Tuesday like special. I don't really care about any of these stories, because it just seems like, get your mentee ready so you can go. Like everybody's kind of just like fulfilling like this like class assignment.
Right. They're showing off a lot of people, but there doesn't seem to be, the only true major direction of anything on the show seems to be Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa apparently are heading into some sort of collision course somewhere. Is Braun Breaker ready for this opportunity? I have no idea.
I think wrestling wise, like whatever opportunity that he gets, the match would be good. But as terms of like actually like holding a story going, lasting for a month and some change, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're introducing a lot of people on the show all at once. It's going to, this might be like literally like a 6-month kind of project. It's kind of even look in the future and be like, was all of this worth it? Like,
Man.
are all these people? Should this person even be on the show? Should we continue to feature a lot more of this person? Should we or should we not? Right now, we're kind of just sampling everything.
Yeah, and like, I think it's gonna be oh, oops, hit my mic. But I think that releases will definitely hurt more this time around, because it was just like, oh, you like really tried at like to make it work. So when they leave, it's gonna be like, fuck, we really wasted all that time.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's gonna get an opportunity, but you know, we'll see kind of how it goes from here. The show, the overall show didn't feel that spectacular to me. But I saw a couple things I like. If we're sampling a couple things, I definitely saw a couple things I like. I mean, first of all, Toxic Attraction, they were speaking about it. They closed the show. Mandy Rose is getting a women's championship shot, apparently in the future. That's what it seems like. I don't think she'll win, but this is NXT 2.0. What do I know? But I don't. If Frankie Monet is not winning, I don't think Mandy Rose will win.
If Frankie Monet is not going to win, that's fine. Also, we don't really need Kaylee Ray and versus Raquel. Like, that's not a match that I desire to truly see. Literally, anybody could be women's champion right now. It don't matter.
To be honest, given how long Kaylee Ray was champion on NXT, do you really want to see that kind of the part two, the continuation of that on this NXT show?
I like Kaylee Ray.
I like Kaylee Ray too.
A couple things. I like Kaylee Ray. I do think that the main roster needs NXT UK representation. Like, they're doing a great job with Doudrop right now and showing, you know, how that can all work. Kaylee Ray absolutely does not need another title reign after the long one she like had. Just not needed. And if Mandy Rose is going to take it, fuck it, sure, why not? Call Raquel up. Get Raquel out of here. Do not have her linger around. I need a lot of these women to leave. So, if Mandy is going to be like her Samoa Joe or like transitional champ to help get Toxic Attraction over and for Raquel to leave, I'm cool with it.
I'm just kind of looking at this show. I don't really want to see anybody from NXT 1.0 on this show because it clearly looks like they're being transitioned out. Like, it's very, very clear. And it feels more so now like a waste of time rather than building towards something. Like the Kyle O'Reilly arc that I think could have been built in a direction towards the NXT championship will probably now not happen. Like, if we're positioning Braun Baker and Von Wagner and those people, you know what I'm saying? The Carmelo Hayes, who now is like, we if this was a month ago, we were like, he's not using this on the NXT World Championship. He may now. Like,
yeah.
It's like, it's so much. I don't want to say the bar is lower, but it kind of is. Like, it's not the stakes now where Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano.
The level of competition definitely lowered, and that's not a bad thing.
It's
like,
and
people,
there's not
people need to get
not
these
even
reps
like they and they don't have like people to jump over. Like what's my name's name? Shit, they're like the thick boy. What's his name? That got fired.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, so there's not even like people to jump over to kind of get there. So I mean, NXT.
Yeah, it's an odd show.
Shout out to Lash Legend.
Oh yeah. Let's get into the quick hits now. Last Legend.
Okay.
Lashing out with Last Legend. I thought it was okay. It didn't really like show me anything. I was really actually looking forward to seeing her wrestle. But if this is gonna be the character, then I guess okay.
I thought she did a very good job in the position that she's in. I don't know if we need this on the show, Could have been very much so internet thing, but I guess you want to introduce her on the show. I guess conflict comes at a later date. That she will have to pay for her words for maybe talking too spicy about someone. Maybe.
Or, she'll just be like the glue to a lot of these feuds just to like get stuff cracking. So that's cool.
Right.
Next thing we got here. It's a quick hit, but there's a lot going into this. The tag division's back. Last week, or well, like the start of 2.0 was really just establishing the women's and men's division, but now we have a lot of the people in the tag division just coming back, just showing like, hey, this is what we got going on. So that's cool with me.
People still hate MSK.
I don't get it.
All right,
so
I haven't been on my. So this is probably the only soapbox where I can actually say like I get why people hate MSK. So I think people hate MSK because they haven't really shown any particular edge or
we talked about
really. Oh yeah. Oh okay. They haven't really shown any edge or haven't really shown kind of any.
They haven't struggled.
Yeah, and they were really put in this position, and because of circumstances, awarded very quickly.
Yeah. Me and Quan talked about this before. When this was first brought up to me, but I do agree. It kind of came effortlessly. They never really had to struggle. I think the only time they struggled, they kind of got their championship match anyway. They didn't really show much because it was just like, okay, they got injured or like somebody like hurt their hand. So they cut a really angry promo and then they just weren't seen again until like they got the match.
Right. I remember watching. I remember like for instance, just a quick example, NXT Brooklyn, the first one. The insane pop that came for the Vaudevillains in Brooklyn and with them in blue pants winning the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now the Vaudevillains they will never be remembered as in any echelon of tag team in NXT, but just the build for that and the story for that, it made complete sense and it worked for them. And I guess that's what we don't see with MSK. So yeah.
MSK needs rivals. And I definitely thought that Elgato del Fantasma could be that, but they started feuding with Hit Row. And then I thought maybe Grizzly Young Veterans can be that for them now. So we'll see how that goes. But, since they all have like their mentees now, which we're going to get a big, huge tag match for that next week, we'll see what happens. Quinn, I forgot his first name, but he defeated Oni Lorcan. Bye Oni. Who knows?
I would say bye.
Yeah. In the Index Honeymoon, Loomis stayed protected. Oof. I'm sick.
Listen, Dexter rounds Loomis, by the way. Because
all right, yeah. Let's cut that mic off.
He going in. Listen, you going in.
Call my man rounds. All right. Tony D'Angelo is going to debut next week. The real Italian hours.
Now you're not on Twitter, but Tony D'Angelo is very popular.
Yes,
for whatever reason.
I have heard that. Hey, people like The Sopranos, bro. So wait, when he Justice said when he on his real Italian shit, don't be surprised.
Listen, people wanted to see like it kind of felt like the energy around this is kind of felt like, man, were we missing Italian gimmicks like on the main show?
I don't think there has been a real Italian gimmick since FBI. So listen. Italian pride.
Put him with Cameron Grimes or something if he's gonna be a heel or something.
Oh no, Cameron Grimes needs to go up.
All right, I'll put that on the list.
Yeah. And then we got Odyssey Jones versus LA Knight next week. LA Knight, I guess, more or less choosing Odyssey Jones to be his mentee before I pray he goes up as well. There's just not enough space for every mentor and your mentee, bro. So we need to get stuff moving and cracking.
I agree.
And yeah, that is it for NXT. I know I said that we're going to talk a little bit about NXT UK, but Meelz is a guest, and I forgot to ask him. So
you sure did. If you would like to, I don't know if you watched it, but if you would like to tell me anything that's pretty interesting, I would love to hear it. If you would, maybe like a quick 30 seconds, 60 seconds.
I like what they have going on in NXT UK. If you miss all the wrestling that NXT used to have, just watch NXT UK. Their women's division is like fantastic. Their tag division is pretty cool as well. And there's a triple threat between Rampage, A-Kid, and I forget who else. But it's pretty good. I just forgot who it was. It was like a week ago. So
you know what's so funny? So I'm looking on the NXT UK Wikipedia now, and all their champions, in terms of date one, and days held, they have non-applicable, because clearly no one knows when they tape these shows. So they don't know when reigns start to count the actual days of these things.
That is funny as hell.
So I find that hilarious. That tickled me.
That's funny as hell. Yeah, they have a great triple threat. Jordan Devlin gets punked by Gallus, and I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Ooh, okay.
Rip Bozo. And then that is it for NXT UK.
Hey, listen.
You can follow Meelz at Meelz TV on Twitter. You can follow me at the A Show RNC on Twitter. And you can keep up with all the stuff that we do on the network on there. Rewriters Room, Spot Callers, War Report, the A Show. And you can just go on our Patreon and subscribe for no less than $3. The A Show. Patreon.com/The A Show RNC. If you are a patron, you're about to hear me and Meelz talk about a very special match.
I'm glad I picked this one. I'm glad
I'm glad you picked this match as well. So if you want to hear what me and Meelz are going to say about Stephanie McMahon versus Trish Stratus at No Way Out 2001, head over to the Patreon so you can hear all our thoughts on this. Peace out.